Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit, and I'm so glad you could join me tonight for night 7 of Spring Navaratri. As customary, we're going to be honoring 2 different forms of the Divine Mother. We're going to be honoring Ma Dumavati and Ma Baglamukhi. And again, something to keep in mind is these are aspects, ultimately, of Ma Kali. I'd like to start out with a couple of announcements of what's going to be coming up. Yeah. So today, in addition to honoring these 2 goddesses, our meditation will include recitations of the Bavanopanishad and the Bahvrcopanishad. So 2 goddesses, 2 different scriptures. I'm going to be taking a class over the weekend. So tomorrow, April 8th, our Navaratri Puja will be at noon, and we're going to be honoring the goddess Matangi and the Devi Upanishad. There'll be no Friday night puja tomorrow due to the class. Saturday the 9th, I've got a break early afternoon from the day's classes, so we'll be doing our Navaratri Puja for the goddess Kamla at 1 p.m., and we'll be doing the Sita Upanishad. And again, due to the class, there'll be no puja on Sunday, April 10th. Also, Shiva Sai Mandir is going to be celebrating the final day of Navaratri, called Victory Day. I'd like to honor that. Our Victory Day celebration will be on Monday the 11th at 7 p.m. And we'll be doing a puja to all 10 of the Mahavidyas, all 10 of the great wisdom goddesses. So, Jai Ma. So let's talk about these 2 aspects of the Divine Mother. So Ma Dumavati is in the form, really she is Ma Kali in the form of a widow. And so we see her in the traditional white sari, symbolic of mourning. And you'll notice that she is in a chariot or a wagon that is not being drawn by anything. And she is also holding a winnowing basket. So in this kind of basket, rice would first be pounded to break the husk, and then the basket would be used to throw the rice up in the air so that the husk can be carried away by the wind. And so what Dumavati, in fact, the Shakti without a Shiva represents is when we have transformed ourselves spiritually. There are just going to be certain things in our lives that are no longer important to us. And so Dumavati helps us in gaining the power of discernment and discrimination. We're just willingly letting go of certain things that may have been important things in our life that just no longer work for us anymore. On her chariot is a flag with a crow, and she also has a crow sitting on the top of her chariot. So crows are carrion birds, also scavengers. Again, this is symbolic of the disillusion of ego attachments. And also, according to Nepali folklore, it was the crow that taught language to the first humans. So that's Ma Dumavati. The mantra we're going to be using is Om Dum Namaha. And we're going to repeat that mantra following the reading of our first Upanishad, during our meditation. Ma Baglamukhi, we notice that she is dressed in yellow. That is her color, and we're going to be offering yellow apples and yellow roses for her. She is holding a demon by the tongue, and that demon represents untruths, falsehood. And she is ready to dispatch that demon with her club. And the club is symbolic of the destruction of ignorance and also the destruction of falsehood. The demon is in water, symbolic of he's coming up from our unconscious realm. And something to keep in mind too, when we read these stories of the Divine Mother slaying a demon, she's actually transforming and liberating that energy. So this demon that represents falsehood is being transformed into truth. I like to think about her club as being like a judge's gavel, because Dumavati is associated with the law and the legal system and our political system. And so many of us, as part of our spiritual journey, may choose to take up some cause connected with the law or with politics. And as I mentioned yesterday, several of these last 5 Mahavidya goddesses represent ways in which we express that divine within ourselves, ways in which we can work as instruments to the divine. In the case of Baglamukhi, it would be somebody who has lived a long life, had many experiences, and she's willing to share that wisdom gained by those experiences with those who are willing to listen. So Jema Baglamukhi, Jema Dumavati. Our first Upanishad reading is going to describe the 5 powers associated with the 5 elements. So our Puja Mantra is going to be Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. The mantras, the seed syllables associated with the 5 elements, plus Om for the universe. By the way, the mantra, the seed mantra for Baglamukhi is going to be Om Rim Nama, and we'll recite that 27 times following the reading of our second Upanishad. Jema. So I invite you at this point to again find a comfortable seat. Whatever seat is most comfortable for you for meditation. I invite you to close your eyes and to breathe deeply. And of course, for our meditations, you can also do these meditations while lying in Shavasana as well. But right now, breathe deeply. Close your eyes. Clear your mind of all distractions. Like that rice husk that's being carried away by the wind with the help of Ma Dumavati's winnowing basket. Preparing for the work and learning we're about to do. And being aware of that divine presence within yourself. So I invite you now to bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. And we'll begin once again by chanting the seed syllables Aing, Reem, Kleem. Reem. Kleem. Jema. Inhale and exhale. And slowly open your eyes. Om. Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yashmade Pandadikaksham Sabhyabhyanta Sushi. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Nama Jiganesha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Nama Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Kailase Patona Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shivadatri Svasvada Namostute Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jayabhutita Harani Jaya Sarvagate Devi Kalaratri Namostute Jemakali. Om Dumavataye cha vidmae Samharanye cha dhimai Tano Duma prachodayat. Jema Dumavati. Om Baglamukhi cha vidmae Satam binye cha dhimai Tano Devi prachodayat. Jema Baglamukhi. Lam Vam Ramyam Ham Om. 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 Lam Vam Ramiyam 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 Ham Om. Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Om. Jai Maha. So I invite you now to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and as we've done the previous days, I invite you to allow the words of our scripture and the sound of the mantras carry your consciousness to where it needs to be at this moment. Bavanopanishad. The holy teacher, known as Parashakti, is the power that is the cause of all things. Of that power, the body with the 9 orifices is the form, the chakras. It is the holy wheel in the guise of 9 wheels. The power of the boar is paternal. Kurakula, the goddess of the bow, is the deity of sacrifice, is material. The 4 human ends are the oceans. The body with the 7 constituents are like the skin, and the hair is the island of 9 gems. Resolutions are the wish-granting trees. Energy of the mind is the garden of the trees of plenty. The 6 seasons are the tastes, namely sweet, sour, bitter, pungent, astringent, and saltish, which are apprehended by the tongue. Knowledge is the material for worship. The object of knowledge is the oblation. The knower is the sacrificer. The meditation is the identity of the 3, knowledge, its object, and knower is the worship rendered to the holy wheel. Destiny and sentiments like love are the miraculous attainments. Atomically, etc., lust, anger, greed, delusion, elation, envy, merit, demerit, these constitute the 8 powers of Brahma, etc. The 9 abodes are the powers of the mystic gestures. The earth, water, fire, air, ether, car, ear, skin, eye, nose, tongue, speech, feet, hands, and organs of evacuation and generation, and the modification of the mind are the 16 powers, such as the pull of lust, etc. Speech, grasp, motion, evacuation, generation, and the attitudes of rejection, acceptance, and apathy are the 8 entities, such as the flower of love. The 5 vital breaths, the 5 minor breaths, are the 10 divisions of the outer spokes. The digestive fire comes 5-fold through the distinctions based on its associations with the preeminent breath. They are what ejects, that cooks, that dries, what burns, and what inundates. Owing to the prominence of the minor breath, these fires in the human body come to be styled as a corridor, the ejector, the agitator, the yawner, and the diluter. They promote the digestion of the five-fold food eaten, chewed, sucked, licked, and imbibed. The 10 aspects of fire are the 10 divinities of the inner spokes, Savajna. The qualities of cold, heat, pleasure, pain, desire, sattva, rajas, and tamas are the 8 powers. The 5 rudimentary sounds are the flowery shafts. Mind is the bow made of sugar cane. Attachment is the cord that binds. A virgin is the hook. The unmanifest, the great, and the principle of egoism are the divinities of the inner triangle. Kameshvadi, Vajravadihi, Baglamalini. Absolute awareness, verily, is Kameshvada, the power of intelligence. The supreme divinity, Lalita, is one's own blissful self. Of all, this is the distinctive apprehension, which is the red glow. Perfection ensues from exclusive concentration of the mind. In the performance of meditation consist various acts of respectful service. The act of oblation is the merger of the self of distinctions like I, thou, existence, non-existence, the sense of duty and its negation, and the obligation to worship. Assuagement is the thought of identity of all objects of imagination. The view of time's transformation into the 15 days of the half-lunar months points to the 15 eternal divinities. Thus, meditating for 3 instants, or 2, or even a single moment, one becomes liberated. While living, one is styled as the Shiva Yogin. Meditations on the inner wheel have been discussed here following the tenets of Shaktism, the worship of the Divine Mother. Whoso knows this is a student of the great knowledge. Om Dum Namah. 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 Jai Maha, Dumavati. Jai Maha, Dumavati. Jai Maha, Dumavati. Bahvrcopanishad. Om, the goddess, was indeed one in the beginning. Alone, she emitted the world egg. She is known as love's part. She is known as the half-syllable instant after. Om. Of her was Brahma born, was Vishnu born, was Rudra, Lord Shiva born. All wind gods were born, celestial minstrels, nymphs, semi-human beings, playing on instruments were born of her, all around. What is enjoyed was born. Everything was born of her. Everything of power was born of her. The egg born, the sweat born, the seed born, the womb born. Whatever breathes here, the stationary, as well as the moving, and man were born of her. She here is the power supreme. She here is the science of Shambhu, Shiva, known either as the science beginning with the syllable ka, or as the science beginning with the syllable ha, or the science beginning with the syllable sha. This is the secret Om grounded in the word Om, pervading the three cities, the three bodies, illuminating within and without. She, the consciousness within, becomes Maha Tripura Sundari, being associated with space, time, and objects. She alone is Atman, the universal soul. Other than her is untruth, non-self. Hence is she Brahman consciousness, free from even a tinge of being and non-being. She is the science of consciousness, non-dual Brahman consciousness, a wave of pure consciousness, bliss. The beauty of the three great cities penetrating without and within is resplendent, non-dual, self-subsisting. What is the pure being that shines is pure consciousness. What is dear is bliss. So here is the Maha Tripura Sundari, who assumes all forms. You and I have all the world and all the divinities, and all besides are the Maha Tripura Sundari, the goddess of the three worlds. The sole truth is the thing named the beautiful. It is non-dual, integral, supreme, pure Brahman. The fivefold form relinquished. The effects, like space transcended, remains the one, the great being, the supreme ground, the only truth. It is declared either that Brahman is consciousness or that I am Brahman. The dialogue is said, thou art that, or this Atman is Brahman, or I am Brahman, or Brahman alone am I. She who is contemplated as that which I am, or I am, he, she, what, they, is that I am, is the Sudashi of the science of Sri, the 15-syllabled, the sacred Mahatripura Sundari, the Virgin, the Mother, Bagla, and Matangi, the auspicious one, who chooses her own partner, the mistress of the world, Chamunda, Chanda, the power of the boar, she who veils the royal Matangi, dark like a parrot, dark, light, mounted on a horse, opposed by demons, smoke-bannered, power of Savitur, Sarasvati, Gayatri, part of Brahmanic bliss. The songs of praise dwell in the highest sphere, where dwell all gods. With what will one does who knows not this. They who know this well, they dwell all right. This is the secret science. Jai Maha. Om Lurim Namah. 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 Shema Baglamukhi. Shema Devi. Shema Bagla. So the power of Dumavati helps in the sorting out of false beliefs or patterns, shades in grounding, the healing of the skeletal and support systems. She is associated with stillness and contentment in the present moment. The power of Baglamukhi, the exposure of the truth, the cutting away of illusion, justice, politics, the removing of addictions and obsessions. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shiva Svada Sadike Sadhanye Trambake Devi Narayane Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sana Vavatu Sana Bunaktu Saviryam Kadavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvidyavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Om. Jai Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma Kali. Jai Ma Dumavati. Jai Ma Baglamukhi. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Ma. So taking a deep and clearing breath, letting go of the meditations, giving gratitude to yourself for taking this time to join in our puja and meditations. Remembering that divine presence within yourself and allowing yourself to be the instrument of the divine on this earth. Slowly opening your eyes. And namaste. Blessings always. And thank you. So once again, our day 8 puja will be tomorrow at noon. We'll be honoring Ma Matangi, who's really Ma Kali in the form of Sarasvati. And we'll be sharing the Bavanopanishad. Till then, I invite you to carry the energies of this puja in the days ahead. Jai Ma. Have a wonderful night. And thank you.